Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Chad. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about expressing emotions. So I'm sure many of you, like me, especially if you're on that male spectrum, maybe had a father who didn't express his emotions well or at all. And that was completely natural for a long time. So it made it harder for myself, for those in my similar situation. And it could be a mother too, let me phrase that, it would be a mother or a father, not expressing emotions. So we learn our habits and our life behaviors through these people. And it makes it difficult for us to understand how to express our emotions, how to understand sometimes what we're feeling. And we often don't know who to go to or what to do to get some of these feelings out. Well, sadness was one of those feelings that I struggled with for years and years and years. Now, I found out that I'm what's called an empath, and we'll discuss that in another video. But basically, I'm more open to other people's emotions, behaviors, the universe's emotions, behaviors. And that sounds like some voodoo stuff there, but we'll discuss that later. So, emotions in general. I can recall watching Bambi for the first time when I was younger and bawling my eyes out when Bambi's mother passed or died from the hunter. I'm not sure if I got that right after all these years, but I do remember crying. And then I remember crying in other movies, and my dad just kind of teasing us and saying, "Oh, he's gonna cry, he's gonna cry." So I wanted to shut that side off. I wanted to shut off those emotions, those feelings. And I did for many years. I can recall when I had one aunt pass away on one side of the family and another aunt who was struggling through breast cancer, and the whole family was in disarray, just down, and the only thing I wanted to do was get away, because it's so hard to suppress emotions. It was so hard to hold in these feelings that I had and understand what to do with them. So I sold everything I had. I moved to Hawaii, which was extreme, but that was the best method for getting away from this pain, this hurt, the sadness that was surrounding our family at the time. Now I understand that it's easier to acknowledge these feelings, to go through them, especially with your family, with people that you love, that you trust, and that you know may judge you slightly at times, but will always come back to loving you and accepting you at the end of the day. Maybe it's not your family, maybe it's friends, maybe it's, a neighbor's, maybe it's a friend's family that is better off for you. But it's okay to express these emotions. We learned that, sadness lasts longer than other fleeting emotions such as anger and fear. I'm gonna have to find the researcher that actually put this forth, and I'll put their information at the bottom of this video. So sadness lasts about 5 hours, whereas fear and anger usually are fleeting in 1 to 3 hours. Now, sadness lasts longer, but if it's not a deep depression sadness, it's actually very beneficial to us, is what they've found. And again, I'll put the information at the bottom of this video. People were making smarter decisions. They were able to think through their decisions better. They were able to empathize with others better. And they just found it to be a beneficial emotion. So if we can empathize with others better, we can feel their sadness and their pain and their hurt, then our sadness is worthwhile at that point. Our sadness is a beneficial sadness. If you're cutting off these emotions, this sadness is, if you let it overcome you by shutting it off, then you're just putting it into this stockpile of negative emotions that will ultimately bring you down. So once we learn to share those with others that are in our similar situation, it frees us in a way. It frees us in a sense from holding on to this burden. The key is to expressing those emotions. And we don't need to cry, for hours on end. But if that's what feels good to you, do that. We don't need to scream out of desperation, but if that feels good to you, then do that. We just need to sit and acknowledge our sadness at times. Acknowledge these emotions that are coming through. And not give them so much power as we do when we try to shut them off. If you're trying to fight against it, it's just going to grow and grow and grow. It becomes this entity almost that overcomes you. So express yourself, express those emotions, especially sadness. But for today, I wish you all joy and happiness and love. I wish you a wonderful